Good evening, United We Rise. Well, it's evening here in the UK. So, I will just give it a sec. I know everybody says that. I'll tell you what I'm actually going to do is I am going to turn off my Wi-Fi and turn it back now. When I do that, normally the comments kick in. It's because I don't want to be doing this and not be able to see your comments, because I love to interact with you guys when we are doing these things. So, good evening. Like I said, I am here in the UK. It is just after 8 o'clock at night here. I've got my cup of tea. So I know there's some of my lovely American friends that love how I say cup of tea. So I've got my Tinkerbell mug. There's a little story about her. We're going to talk about Tinkerbell in a little while. And I am ready this evening to share with you guys some of my, hey Debbie, oh my goodness, that's it. Okay, somebody I know is on and comments are working. We can breathe. So when I was invited to come and share here, I was like, right, what am I going to talk about? So what I am actually going to talk to you guys about this evening is I'm going to tell you a little bit about my Scentsy story, the roller coaster journey that I've been on, and that I know a lot of us have been on. And then I am going to just talk to you with some of my top tips and habits and all the things for like working a successful Scentsy business. Hey Claire. So I have made some notes because I do have a tendency to ramble. Hi Marie. But I wanted this to have some value, some real like tangible stuff that you can take away and implement into your business. First of all, I just need to take a breath because I know this is like, I know I go live all the time, but this is a bit different. So I'm just going to take another little sip of my tea. I don't know about where you are in the world, but in England, if ever there's, hey my love, well, it's quite wonderful that my best friend Lisa Allwood came on when we said that, because I was just about to say, in the UK, a cup of tea fixes everything. Hey Steph, and we've had many cups of tea over Lisa's breakfast bar. Right, okay, so like I said, I'm just going to give you a little bit of an overview, introduce myself, and then I've written some like top tips for working your Scentsy business. Hi Gemma! And hopefully you will take something away from this evening that you can go away and implement into your business. Hi Claire. So I want to introduce myself. My name is Laura Sawkins. I am a superstar director in England, like I said, in the UK. Hi Mary. So firstly, when you jump on, like, let me know, because obviously this is on a global platform. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I love to see, you know, where people are watching from. So let me know in the comments where you are in the world. I live in Essex, which is in the south of the country, but any of you that know, I've got a northern accent. I'm originally from the north, so I've moved around a little bit. But I live in the south with my husband, Dan, and my 3 children. I've got Ella, Harry and Finley, who are 18, 14 and 6. Can't quite believe I've got an actual adult in my house. Hi, Thomas. And our crazy spaniel dog, Minnie. Hey, Emily. So that is me. That is my little crew. And I became a Scentsy consultant 9 years ago, like nearly 9 years ago. Guys, if I don't reply to all comments, I'm not being rude, but I can be like a little bit of a magpie and I don't want to lose my train of thought, but I literally will catch up on all your comments at the end, I promise. Hi, Amy, and hi, Sharon from North Carolina. They're the ones I've seen. So yeah, I have been a Scentsy consultant for 9 years, which is actually bonkers when I think about it. If I think back to how small, obviously I didn't have my 3rd baby when I joined Scentsy, how tiny my other 2 were, I was literally like a baby having babies back then, I feel like. And so much has happened over those 9 years, and I am so grateful for Scentsy. So I'm just going to tell you, I haven't come on to like talk about my Scentsy story, but I am going to give you just a little bit of an overview of some of the incredible things that have happened, some things that have happened to me personally, and how Scentsy has helped me navigate that and has been a part of that, because that's just kind of giving you a background as to why Scentsy is so special, and why, honestly, you need to understand that you are part of a phenomenal company with phenomenal owners and home office, corporate staff and consultants and community. Like, how can I explain this? The Scentsy community, when it's on fire, is like nothing I've ever experienced in my life. Honestly, it is absolutely wonderful. And that alone, like so many people join for different reasons, but that alone has carried me through the last 9 years. So honestly, just know that wherever you are in the world, whatever, you know, part of your journey that you are at, Scentsy is extremely special, and you need to remember that. So Scentsy can be the biggest gift for people, you know, whether you are an essential consultant and, you know, you don't want to build a team, you just want to do it as a little bit extra to, you know, earn a little bit of extra income, or whether you want to build a business and go to the top of the comp plan and, you know, earn all the incentive trips, you know, do all the things. Like whatever you want Scentsy to be, it can be for you. And the beauty about this company is, again, I've gone off on a bit of a tangent, shock. Hey, Katrina. But I am going to do this. I've literally just written words that will help, which will then trigger things in my mind. I am a bit of a magpie talk with my hands. I was going to apologise for it, but I'm actually not, because that is who I am, guys. And that is actually really important, is that that's almost what I was just going to go on to say, is that there is no like typical Scentsy consultant. Like it doesn't matter who you are, what your background is, what your experience is, what you look like it doesn't matter. You are welcomed in Scentsy as your most authentic, wonderful, unique self. And it is one of our core values, right? Is authenticity. So it's so important to show up exactly as you are and never ever apologise for that. So I am the person that talks with my hands and will probably flick my cup of tea over because I've hit my cup, but don't worry about it, right? We move. So Scentsy has been and continues to be the biggest blessing for so many people. And like I said, I'm just going to give you a bit of an overview of our little story and, you know, my own personal journey. So like I said, I've been with Scentsy for 9 years. I'm a superstar director. I've been on some wonderful trips. Like I've earned every single and I just want to add, guys, before I share any of this, I'm not saying this to go like, oh my God, look at me. Like, look what I've done. I'm sharing it to hopefully explain the journey I've been on, explain where we were, where we went up there, and where we're at right now. And also that, like, I'm no one special. I was a mum of two. When I joined Scentsy, I was a fitness instructor. I was a waitress. And I was also working as a midday assistant in my children's school. So I had like 3 jobs. On paper, I was, you know, I didn't have time to be a Scentsy consultant, but I just knew in my heart of hearts that it was really special. Hi, Nikki. And I just jumped in. I didn't have any big master plan. I didn't, you know, I just loved the products and I shared the products. And to this day, I don't do anything different. Obviously, I do a little bit different now because I've got a team and I've got other responsibilities. But what I mean is, I am somebody that needs to keep my life and my business and my brain, as I've learned, especially as I've got into my 40s, simple. I need simplicity. So here we go. Simplicity. There you go. That's the first one. Authenticity and generosity. And I promise you, if you have your arrows out at all times, you won't go wrong in your Scentsy business. So honestly, we have been through it all. We've been on this like massive, massive roller coaster with Scentsy. And yes, for a period after COVID, like my husband retired from his job. We were a stay-at-home family for 4 years. And Scentsy was our whole business and it was wonderful. And we travelled and we did all these things. So Scentsy has been the biggest blessing to our family. My husband has gone back to work now. He is a postman. I don't know what a mailman in America. But he is a postman now. Circumstances change. We've been on this massive wave. But I do honestly believe, guys, in my heart of hearts, there is a shift. There is a shift and there is change happening. And if you believe in all the woo-woo, because I love the woo-woo, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute, we are in the year of the fire horse. And the year of the snake's gone. We've shed all that and we're in the year of the fire horse and we are moving forward. And there is definitely like a shift and an energy in Scentsy right now. The biggest thing, or one of the biggest things that has happened recently, and it wouldn't be right to come on here and deliver a training. When Brie asked me, she said, like, talk about whatever you want. So I was like, right, it's really important that I share this part of my story because it is really poignant, and Scentsy is literally like, been a huge part of that. So in January this year, so literally January just gone, I lost my mum. She has, I'm trying to think of the right word. She had MS her whole life, really. She was diagnosed when she was 21. She went on to have my brother and I, and she had progressive multiple sclerosis. And she watched, obviously, what happened with Scentsy, and in the last few years, she got extremely poorly and wasn't able to go out anymore. And I'm really, I know if I cry, it's okay, but I'm really don't want to cry because I want this to have, and I know that's okay, but this is why I'm just talking slowly. But exactly this. So actually, I'm just jumping back to Katrina's comment. In those 4 years, I've missed a little part of this story, and this is what I do. I jump from it. In those 4 years, our youngest son was going through an autism diagnosis. So actually, Dan was home when he needed it. So that, again, that was a blessing in our Scentsy lives. But yes, my mum got extremely poorly, and went into hospital after Christmas and didn't come home again. And my brother and I sat in that hospital, and my dad, obviously, well, not obviously, but my dad and my brother and I sat in that hospital by her side, and without Scentsy being, so there's a few things that I've written here why Scentsy was special in that. So one, I didn't have to worry about ringing a boss when I was by my mum's bedside in her final days. Like, I had a team that literally, I was going to come onto the team, I'll come onto the team part in a minute, but I had people ordering on my PWS. I had customers sharing my business for me, like sharing it with their friends. Like, there wasn't one part in my mind that I had the worry of a job, of work, when that situation happened. So that's really special. But what proceeded to happen in the days after that was my team and the Scentsy community. I have never experienced like anything like it. I've never experienced, they're literally like my amazing leaders and friends just picked up the business. I didn't have to say a word. And also, my lovely Lisa and Nicola knocked on my front door with a collection of over £600, or worth of £600 that they collected from within the Scentsy community, which helped pay for food shopping when my husband hadn't been at work for that couple of weeks, for a memorial for my mum. Honestly, it was just, I had flowers from Heidi Norville. And the reason I'm sharing this part of my story, guys, is that tells you what Scentsy is. That, what I've just shared with you, shows you like what you are part of, like how special Scentsy is. So firstly, it's really important that you remember that. But also, I honestly, truly, sincerely believe that I wouldn't have got through the last couple of months if Scentsy wasn't what I did. Like, I talked to I'm sure you all know who Lisa Allwood is. She's my best friend in the world and another phenomenal superstar director. And I spoke to her about a week later, and I remember saying, like, it feels weird to like show up, but this is my job. And actually, in times of uncertainty and challenge and everything, when your whole world's just like blown apart, actually doing things that are normal and feel like home and warm your heart, that helps. So I truly believe if it wasn't for Scentsy, I wouldn't have got through the last couple of months or the last month as I have. So that's what the reason I wanted to add that in there, guys, is that so you understand how special Scentsy is and what you are part of, like what you are absolutely part of, and this company and this community is special. So that's what I just wanted to add in first of all. You get back what you give and you lead with love, and always lead with love, everyone, guys, like always. If you put good out into the world, I promise you it will come back and repay you. So that's that little bit of the story over. But it was when I made my notes, I was like, it's really important that I talk about that, because grief is a funny old thing, and well, it's not funny, is it? It's a strange thing, is what I mean. So to have something that is so familiar and literally fills your heart and makes you feel safe in those times, yeah, it's really special. Okay, so we have been through a season, is what I've written next. So I am not under any illusion that the last couple of years in Scentsy haven't been challenging, guys. They have, and I'm not going to look backwards, and I'm not going to, you know, we're not going to look backwards. We only ever look forwards, right? What I've always said, I've always been this person that said, like, you know, you only live once and you've got to look forward and all those things. But I think especially what I've just talked about, what has happened recently has shown me more than ever that, like, all we ever really have is today, right? All we ever really have is today. And all we can do is look forward. Like, the past is the past. It has gone. We are absolutely not where we were in those crazy COVID times. And honestly, like, it was wild, but it wasn't, you know, we are where we are now, and we are steering that ship, and we are moving as together as a company. And Scentsy have brought out this beautiful new branding and all the new collections, and we're moving to an annual catalogue, and like Scentsy are doing, you know, all these things that are on trend and doing all these wonderful things. And I really, really know in my heart of hearts that, like, momentum is building and we're doing a special thing. I mean, we need to grow people. We need to be sharing this amazing opportunity with people. But I trust in my heart of hearts that it is all going in the right direction. But I did actually write down here, like, I'm not diminishing. I'm not taking away that it has been challenging. It's been challenging for all of us. We've all been through a season, you know. We've all been through difficult times, personally, professionally. But it's okay. That is life. And the only way that we ever learn lessons is if we go through these things. We can't, like, you're never going to learn if you don't experience things. So what we're doing now, right, is we're looking forward. We're looking forward, and we're looking at what we can focus on to turn that ship, as they keep telling us. So what I'm going to talk to you about is, and then I've written some tips down because I didn't want to keep too long. I'd said in my brain 30 minutes. Let's see if we can keep it to 30 minutes. So literally last night, myself, the lovely Katrina McLean and Emma London, who are two of my fabulous directors and friends, we finished up a training programme, which was originally the brainchild of Lindsay McCallum, who I know was on here last week. And she had given us her programme a few years ago, and we'd kind of, like, you know, adapted it, made it our own. And we called it Growth Academy. And last night, we finished up a six-week training program that we ran for consultants right across our group. So this was also inclusive of some of Lisa's team and Tanya's team. And we finished it up last night with the graduation, and we had Holly Baker on, our wonderful country manager. We had Jason and we had Chuck, and we came on and celebrated everybody. But what we learned in that 6 weeks, my saying is, the past has gone, live for today and look forward to tomorrow. Absolutely, my love. All we ever really have is today. All we can do is live in the present and focus on what we can control. That is, like, one of my favourite things in the world. Circle of control. I've literally got it. Where is it? Oh no, it's in the other room on the wall. I've literally got it. The circle of control on the wall in front of my eyes. So I'm going to talk you through some of the things we covered on Growth Academy and a few little extras from me. So, the first thing I want to talk to you about is, I've literally put pointers down, because otherwise when I get into this bit, we could still be in an hour. Because when I get into my little zone with these things, I can go off on a bit of a tangent. So number one I want to say to you is, if you want to move your business forward, you need to stop worrying about what other people think about you. Let me know in the comments, truthfully, if when you are, like, sharing on social media, having conversations with people, do you hold back from telling people that you are a Scentsy consultant sometimes, or feel a little bit anxious about sharing that you are a Scentsy consultant? Let me know in the comments. Because what I want to remind you of is this. Stop worrying about what other people think about you. They do not pay your bills. They are not in your shoes. And also, you are on this planet once. Once and once only, guys. You're not coming back. You're not getting another chance at this. You're not getting any reruns. This is it. Today, the here and now, this is your life. It is the only one you are getting. So stop worrying about the opinions of other people. They don't pay your bills. And with all the respect in the world, they don't care about you. They care about themselves. People are selfish. And I don't mean that in an unkind way. But what I mean is this. You need to literally, or if somebody makes a comment, or, you know, they won't think about it anymore. And if somebody writes a comment about you, that says more about them. So that's what you need to worry about. That's what you not worry about. That's what you need to think about. I promise you, you are inspiring people more than you know. And you don't want to get to the end of your life in 20 years' time, 30 years' time. You know, not saying you've only got 20 years left, but you know what I mean. And think, oh, what would have happened if I'd like tried a little bit harder with my scents business? What would have happened if I'd gone all in? You are only here once. Stop letting other people dictate what you do with your life. It is your life. It is your, sorry, excuse my fake tan hand. It is your life. It is your social media. If people don't like what they see, they can scroll on by. Honestly, it is a skill. Don't get me wrong. It's a skill. I know it needs to be worked on, and it's something like a muscle that you need to work on. But do not let other people dictate what you do with your life. Okay. Don't let anyone rent a space in your head. Yes. Okay, next one. This is another favourite. These are all favourites. Stop waiting to be motivated. Because guess what? Motivation does not exist. You need to just be disciplined. Not just be. You need to be disciplined. The amount of times I've had people say to me, oh, I just don't feel very motivated today. Well, guess what? I don't feel motivated every day. But if I wasn't motivated, we wouldn't have a roof over our head. So that's all right, my love. I would rather regret the things I've done than wonder about the things I didn't do. Exactly that, Claire. So stop waiting to be motivated. If you wait and you only do things when you feel motivated, you'll never do anything. So that's where discipline comes in. It is exactly the same with anything. With anything you start in life, whether it's going to the gym or whether it's going walking or whether it's drinking more, whatever it may be. If you only do things on the days that you feel like doing it, you'll never do anything in life. And you certainly won't have a successful business. So you need to stop waiting to be motivated and start being disciplined. And take a little bit of accountability for your actions. Your business is going to grow through your personal activity. You cannot blame anybody else for the success or lack of success in your business. It all comes down to you. Even if you have a team, your business has to come first, okay? Always. Doesn't matter whether you've got a team of 1 or a team of 1,000 or a team of 10,000. Your business comes first. Because if you haven't got a business, you've got nothing to share with your team. That is all leadership is, guys, is working your business, leading by example, showing up, because let me tell you, your team will do what you do. If you don't go to trainings, your team won't go to trainings. If you don't show up, your team won't show up. I promise you, they are watching what you do more than you realise. So you need to learn to be disciplined, take accountability for your personal activity. Okay, next one. Be okay with failing. Be okay with hearing the word no. Be okay with trying something and it doesn't work. Because my goodness me, there are a lot of things in the last 9 years that haven't worked. But you need to learn to be okay with that. Because again, like I said earlier, that is the only way you learn. That is the only way. If things never went wrong, but it's not, I actually genuinely don't believe that you can fail. If something doesn't work out the way you thought it was gonna, that's not how it was meant to be. It was just rerouting you another way, okay? So don't be scared to not try things for fear of failure, because actually you're not failing. You're just being rerouted onto another way. I'm just going to tell you this, and as well, consistency is key. That's the next one I've written down. Oh my God, I literally should get that tattooed on my arm, the word consistency. I am such a creature of habit. I have learned more about myself as I've got older, but actually, you do not have to be constant with your business, but you do have to be consistent. Consistency is key with everything in life. With your business, with going to the gym, with, anything, drinking water, whatever it may be. And the only way things happen is by doing it over and over and over and over and over and over again. Far too many people start their Scentsy business, do something for like a month and then go, oh, well, that didn't work. That doesn't work. Not in a month. You need to be consistent and you need to keep at it, guys. I shared this with my team yesterday. So I followed up with somebody. I was out running. I saw her from a distance. I was like, oh, she hasn't ordered for a while. When I looked back in my messenger, the last time she'd ordered was October 2024. I had followed up with her 11 times. I'd sent her the sale link. I'd sent her messages. A couple of times she had said, no, thank you. But the other ones, she had literally not replied. And that's okay, because people are busy, right? Yesterday, she said, oh, thank you for messaging. I do need some wax. So you need to be consistent. Don't take it personally when people say no. Don't take it personally when people don't reply because they're just busy and I've got busy lives. You need to be consistent. Okay, next one. Mindset and personal development. I could do a whole training on this. I could sit here for legitimately 2 hours and train on this topic. Like, I cannot tell you how much this topic has, one, changed my life and changed my whole outlook and view of the world and this industry and this business. Hi, Joe. If you do not work on your mindset and the person that you are going to struggle in your business, because you are going to be met with challenges. You are going to be met with adversity. You are going to be met with things going wrong. You are going to be met with difficult team members. You're going to be met with challenging customers. If you do not work on how you react to things and your mindset in challenging situations, you are going to struggle in your Scentsy business. And it is going to impact the whole of your life. Now, I love reading. I'm not suggesting every single person in the world needs to sit down with a book every day. But, you know, listen to a podcast. Listen, you should apply for Mastermind. You never know, Michelle. I might do that one day. But your mindset is literally the core of every single thing you do in this business and in your life. And it's remembering that you are in control at all times and you get to choose how you respond to situations. So I listened to a podcast years ago by a guy called Ben Francis, who founded the brand Gymshark. And I always remember this line, and he says, grow the person, you will grow the business, regardless of the business that you are in. So you need to work on yourself, on your personal development, whether that's listening to trainings, listening to podcasts. It's the reason when Scentsy set up the, oh my God, what was it called? Somebody tell me in the comments. What was it? That challenge that we had a couple of months ago when it was like 10 minutes. See? Hello 42. I can't remember. But there's a reason that some kind of personal development, and if you do that consistently over time, guess what happens? Your mindset will change. So that's a really important one. Next one, because I'm very mindful of the time. Your environment matters, okay? Your words that you use, literally the words that you use, the way you speak to yourself. So your environment matters, your words and your circle, the people you surround yourself with, the conversations that you engage in, the rooms that you choose to put yourself in, the people that you choose to engage with. Because remember, it's always a choice, guys. You get to choose where you spend your time. You get to choose if you are in a circle of people and they're gossiping and bitching and whinging. You get to choose if you leave that environment, okay? Your environment matters and your words matter. And it is like that pesky algorithm we all know on the internet. What you say and what you put out is what you are going to get back. So just be mindful of that when you are engaging in conversation and when you are speaking to yourself, most importantly. You need to speak kindly to yourself. You need to believe that you are capable. And weirdly, the reason I wrote yes you can, I've got these little pink affirmation cards on my desk. And just before I came on here, I just turned them all upside down and I picked one out and it said, yes you can. So that is why I've titled this live, Yes, Power 30. Thank you, Katrina. Yes, you can, because actually, yes, you can. You are wildly capable, more than you realise. Okay, next one. Actually, can I just have a sip of my tea because it's here and it's going cold. So, simplicity. That's what I've written down here. I cannot tell you how simple I need to keep my life. Okay? My life, my business, my habits. This isn't me putting myself down. I am just know myself really, really well now, especially since I've hit my 40s. And I know I need simplicity and habits in my life. And this is why I'm so grateful that Scentsy is set up the way that it is, because there is no right way to be a Scentsy consultant. You can have a business built completely on Scentsy Club. You can do parties. You can do online parties. You can share a hostess link. You can do it as like, almost like, you know, sharing an affiliate code or whatever you want to title it. There is no right or wrong way to be a Scentsy consultant. As long as you are networking, you are getting the scents under people's noses, and you are having conversations and finding new customers. That one there, that is the one, guys, okay? Again, you can tell Lisa and I work really closely. Lisa always says, I will die on this hill, okay? Finding new customers, okay? That is where your business is going to grow, because when you're finding new customers, you are having conversations, you are networking, therefore you are going to be sponsoring. You are getting to know the person. But it is such a simple business model, guys. It's so simple. I'll never say that it's easy, because it's not. You have to work it. But it is so simple. And if your mouth is closed, so is your business. And this is where it all loops into what we talked about earlier, personal activity and accountability. If you are not talking to people or sharing your business or sharing your website or asking if they like your borrow bag or asking if they'd like an online party or asking people, your business is never going to grow. So if your mouth is closed, so is your business. And that is the simplicity of this business model, okay? Finding new customers and networking every single month. It's no different for anybody. It doesn't matter whether you've been in 5 minutes or 50 years. I know we haven't been going 50 years, but you know what I mean. Like, it's exactly the same for everybody. So keep it simple. Stop overcomplicating it. Get rid of all the fluff. Stop doing all the stuff. As well, PS, scrolling on Facebook, not working your business. Making up pretty flyers, not working your business. If you are not actually taking action that is going to grow your business is never going to grow. Okay, nearly done, I promise. So, the last thing I've written is this. Your ego is not your amigo. You need to understand that, how can I put this? You need to get over yourself a little bit, is what I'm saying. You need to understand that everybody makes mistakes. Yes, done not perfect. I am literally all about that life. Done not perfect. It is, as long as it is done, you are better to take the action than wait for perfection, because it's just never going to happen. Yeah, your ego is not your amigo. Don't think that you're never going to fall down, you're never going to make mistakes, you're never going to get things wrong, because you are, but it's okay. We all do. You've just got to get up the next day and keep going. Stop not doing things in fear of what others are going to think about you. Nobody cares, honestly. Get over yourself with love, always, and understand that, you can do this. You absolutely can do this. It is all in your head when you think that you can't, because you can. Lead by example. I know I've said that earlier, but lead by example. Leaders go first. Even whether you're saying you don't want to build a team, your customers are watching you. Your customers are watching you fall in love with changing your wax or getting in your car and putting in a scent circle or putting your pod in. Lead by example. People are always watching. And the last few that I've written down is this. And this is what I want to leave you with. Never lose your joy. Remember why you started. If you're having a little slump, if you're having a little moment, go and change your wax. Go and change your wax and remember why you became a Scentsy consultant. Go and connect with some of your team. Go for a walk. Go for a run. Go listen to something. I don't know. But never, ever lose your joy. Remember, this business is a blessing. Now, I just want to add this little bit in here. I haven't written this down. But this is what I said to the guys on Growth Academy last night as well. And Orville talked about this. Maybe at Leadership. I can't remember. Maybe at SFA, on one of them. Once upon a time, Scentsy was, the tagline for network marketing, I guess, was, you can retire your husband, do this, right? And I know I've just said that happened, and that did happen for 4 years, and it was wonderful. But that's not what Scentsy is anymore. For most people, myself included, we are back now to being almost like a 4-income household, because we both do multiple things now. I don't do another network marketing company. What I mean is, I am still a full-time Scentsy girl, but I've got a couple of affiliate links for things. But what I'm saying is this. It used to be that, it was, all the things. Now, for most people, Scentsy is an additional income, or it's a lifeline. So if you have been a full-time Scentsy consultant and you choose to go back to work, or you choose to get a part-time job, or you choose to do something else, like, that's okay. That doesn't mean that you failed, or that, you know, it's actually a good thing. You're going to be networking and talking to people. So I talked to the guys about this on Growth Academy last night, because I'm not going to like name names, but a couple of people in my team had said like, oh, you know, I've gone back to work. I've looked for a part-time job. That's okay. Like, that's okay. Like, genuinely, like, it is a good thing, because it keeps your mind fresh. And Scentsy now, like Orville Thompson said it himself, you know, this is how we need to be marketing it to people. Scentsy is an additional, it's a lifeline for people. So never ever lose your joy, never ever forget that, okay? Never stop dreaming, never stop dreaming, never lose that childlike wonder and that capability to understand how capable you are and what actually is really possible with this business. If you want to earn an incentive trip, you can earn an incentive trip. If you tell yourself at the beginning, I'm never going to earn an incentive trip, it's never going to happen. But if you really, truly, genuinely want to earn an incentive trip, you can do that. So never, ever stop dreaming. Have courage and be kind. These are some Disney quotes coming out now, because I'm a big Disney girl. And leave a little sparkle wherever you go. I'm going to show you this now before I touch off. So I actually had, a couple of years ago, she's upside down there, but I actually had Tinkerbell tattooed on my arm as almost as like a symbol of like rules I live my life by. Never let anyone leave you without feeling better about themselves. Leave a little sparkle wherever you go. And I promise you, if that is how you choose to live your life, you will go far in this world, because you will have an impact on people. They will remember you, whether that is a customer, a teammate, a friend, whatever it may be. But leave a little sparkle wherever you go, and I promise you that will have an impact. Right, I am going to wrap this up now, I think, because I think I've kept you long enough. Thank you so much for inviting me here and for being here. Does anybody have any questions that they want to put in the comments? I will come back to them afterwards. And if anybody ever has any questions, like, my inbox is always open. Feel free to add me, follow me, whatever you want to do. But just know that you are in a very special place with a very special company, with very special people around you. And your Scentsy business can be whatever you want it to be. And it is extremely special. How many times have I said special? But right, I'm going to go. You are very welcome. Thank you so much for having me. And I will speak to you soon.